Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Wealthy Money TV. My guest today is Benny Naude, and he's an EFT tapping expert and coach, and he will be talking to us about the shadow self and EFT tapping. Trust me when I say this has become my latest obsession, and I'm now officially obsessed with Carl Jung, the psychologist, because I think he was really onto something. Welcome, Benny.
Thanks, Vangile.
Benny, when we first met, we had this very long conversation about shadows and the shadow self and EFT tapping. Could you please explain to people what the shadow self is and why it's so critical when it comes to creating financial abundance?
Sure. So the simplest definition that I know of the shadow is it's those parts of you that you don't like and that you don't want other people to see. Now, typically they come from childhood by either well-meaning or non-well-meaning caretakers, parents, preachers, teachers. And it's really those beliefs that we hold about ourselves, for example, like, I'm not good enough, or there's something wrong with me, or I'm not creative enough, or I'm not smart enough. And you mentioned Carl Jung. Carl Jung, who coined this phrase of the shadow, said that our golden shadows are even more important than the dark ones. So the so-called dark ones were the ones I just mentioned, those limiting, painful beliefs we have about ourselves. But the golden ones that we find so hard to really own in this world, we're taught to not be too full of ourselves. If we can really start owning our golden shadow, so the part of you that is absolutely good enough and smart enough and intelligent enough and creative enough and whatever enough, I think that's when life really starts changing.
Wow, no, I am a true convert. Now, I know for a lot of us, we have negative self-talk that's brought on by the inner critic, or we sabotage ourselves, and that is the saboteur. Those are all shadow selves, by the way, for anyone watching this. But how can we use EFT tapping to silence these shadow selves, these voices that tell us, you'll never make it, you're not good enough? This is not, you can never play at this level.
So those types of voices that you talk about, here's how they can trip us up. Let's, for example, say you're about to go for a job interview, and you have a shadow self that says you're not good enough for this job. You may turn up at this job unprepared, or you may forget about the interview, or you may say something in the interview that you wouldn't normally say, and then you don't get the job, and then you get to be right about it. Most of us like to be right even about the painful things, and then you say, you see, I knew I wasn't good enough for this job. So again, with positive affirmation, you can install different beliefs, but the really core beliefs, like I'm not good enough, they will always come out under stress. So how we can use tapping with that is to actually acknowledge that a part of you doesn't feel good enough. And we use this very simple tapping technique by stimulating the body's nervous system while you tune into this belief that you're not good enough. And somehow, and I can tell you nobody really knows how this works, somehow that belief just starts shifting until you get to the point where even saying it is just ridiculous, and you know that of course you're good enough to do whatever it is that you want to do.
Wow. Benny, can I put you on the spot and just ask you to do, let's say, one round of a tapping technique, and then we'll end the video that way. But just, I wanted, one of the EFT tapping things that obviously holds most people back is, I'll never get that job, I'm not good enough, they don't want me. Could we do something around, I'm not good enough?
Definitely. And I agree with you. I think most people on the planet have some level of this, ridiculous notion that somehow you're not good enough. So the technique is very simple, and unlike other techniques, we're actually going to acknowledge this part of you, this shadow part that thinks that you're not good enough. So you simply start tapping on the side of your hand. You can tap on either side of the body, and we're simply going to acknowledge. So just say these words after me. Even though I think I'm not good enough, I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
I deeply and completely love and accept myself anyway.
Even though I feel not good enough.
Even though I feel not good enough.
And I have so much proof.
And I have so much proof.
I deeply and completely.
I deeply and completely.
Love and accept myself anyway.
Love and accept myself anyway.
And one last time, even though I feel not good enough.
Even though I feel not good enough.
I deeply and completely.
I deeply and completely.
Love and accept myself anyway.
Love and accept myself anyway.
And then we simply tap through all the tapping points, and we just repeat, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
And then top of the eyebrows, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
Side of the eyes, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
Under the eyes, I'm really not good enough.
I'm really not good enough.
Under the nose, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
Then just below the bottom lip, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
on the collarbone point on the chest, I am not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
And then the last point for now, under the arms, I'm not good enough.
I'm not good enough.
And then take a nice deep breath in through the nose and out the mouth. Now, if you did this and you close your eyes for a second, you'll probably already notice a calming on the inside of your body. And if you continue to do this tapping, you'll get to the point where that whole statement, like I'm not good enough, just doesn't even make any sense anymore.
Wow, thank you so much, Benny. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I love Benny's EFT tapping workshops, and you can feel free to reach out to him. Benny, how can people get hold of you?
Via my website, www.deepliving.com.
Okay, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to Wealthy Money TV and tune in for next week's episode. In the meantime, have a phenomenal day. Bye.